Hey Jeff, man, there's no way I could possibly give you advice, but I do have a kind of interesting story about public relations that I'd like to tell you. This is a true story. This happened during my date with who's going to turn out to be my future wife. And so it was kind of a blind date, so it was like I was walking into Starbucks, and we sat down and we had some coffee together. And I asked her, what do you do for a living? Um, I really couldn't think of anything else to ask her, and I'm kind of boring. So that's the only thing I could think of. What do you do for a living? Well, she said, I'm in PR. And I thought to myself, wow, you certainly look the part. But that's not what I said, of course. What I said oh, well, that's very interesting. So what are you going to do next week? What kind of things do you do as a PR person? And she says, well, next week what I'm going to do is I'm going to convince the Wall Street Journal to talk about X, and I'm going to convince Newsweek to talk about Y, and I'm going to convince the New York Times to talk about Z. And that's about wraps it up for the week. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, can she really do that? Can she really get the New York Times to say whatever she wants the New York Times to say? And I'm scratching my head. I couldn't even believe it. But the date went really well, and I resolved to call her back up, and we agreed to meet next weekend. And so during that week, I just kind of kept my eye on those three publications. Well, how's it going to shake out? And sure enough, on Monday, the New York Times said X, exactly as she predicted. And on Tuesday, Newsweek said Y, exactly as she predicted. And on Wednesday, um, the Wall Street Journal said Z, just exactly as she predicted. I mean, it was word for word. She told me almost exactly what was going to be said by these papers a week before it happened. I was amazed. I was blown away. I couldn't believe it. So, next week I talked to her about this and I said, what's going on here? How is this possible? And she says, yeah, that's my job. It's like my job is to ensure that the news tells you what big corporations want you to know. And it was amazing to me. It's like, how can somebody have so much power over the media? And still, I had no idea who she was. I just met this woman. It's like the most amazing thing that ever happened to me. Well, yeah, not the most amazing thing, but certainly the most amazing first date I've ever had. So, any rate, how does this fit into your particular situation here? Well, here's the moral of the story. The moral of the story is, and by the way, this is free advice. This is number 3 in my cheesy free advice series. Okay, double your money back if this doesn't work. It probably won't work for you. I make no guarantees. But since you asked, this is my advice. Okay, stay away from any PR person who is famous. All right, I challenge anybody out there. Okay, name one PR person that they know who their name is, who hasn't been the biggest mess ever. Okay, it's just the nature of the beast. I mean, Dick Morris. I mean, forget it. Or this guy who shall remain nameless that you're talking about. It's always a mess, and the reason is very easy. Anybody who knows how to manipulate the media and wants their name out there is not going to care about whether your name gets out there or not. Okay, you should choose the PR people that you work with. Choose them on the basis of who they have made famous. Okay, you are the one you want to be the story. Okay, that's exactly the problem that happened in the situation that you were talking about. The PR person became the story. No, okay. The whole point of having a PR person is that you are the story, not they are the story. Okay, so that's just my free advice on this. Okay, let's move on. Where do views come from? Now, it's an interesting case study of two videos here that I did. And this is pretty ridiculous numbers. I mean, your numbers for views are orders of magnitude higher than mine. But I think this is actually an interesting little case study here. These two videos, video of a girl 3 days dead, come back to life, is the title of one of them. And the title of the second one is Why Does Cobain Believe in the Resurrection? Now, the interesting thing is I repeat myself a lot, and these videos have almost exactly the same content. I reused The same slides in both of them. Okay, they're both about this voodoo priest and his daughter, and the process that his daughter went through in becoming a voodoo priest, which purportedly includes dying and coming back to life again after 3 days. Exact same content, exact same order of the content. There's not 50 cents worth of difference between these two videos. Okay, I'll post links to them. Go watch them yourself, and you'll see they're the same video basically, right? One of them has 20,000 views. One of them has 1,000 views. Okay, what is the huge difference here in these views? Oh, and by the way, this proves, okay, the most important thing on YouTube is zombies, by the way. So if you want lots of views, talk about zombies. But at any rate, why is the one video so much more? Well, here's the story. The YouTube has this wonderful insight thing that's there, right? Now, let me adjust the screen here real quick. There you go. See this related videos, 84%. Okay, so this one that has the 20,000 views, it just happened to be picked up in the related video section of several other very popular videos on YouTube. Like one is called, I think, Jesus brings ex-Muslim girl back to life, and the other one is, man dead for a few days and comes back to life and sees Jesus or something like this, right? So yeah, like I said, zombies are actually the most important thing on YouTube. But the point is, okay, these two videos, why does one have so many views and the other one doesn't have so many views? It's just whichever one is being promoted by YouTube. It's just as simple as that. Like you said on your princess story, it just happened to be picked up by YouTube, or the one where Jack shaves his eyebrows or something, right? It just happens to be picked up. Advertisement is the only thing that really works. I mean, this is why people pay for advertisements, is to get it out there, right? So if your video is linked to some other video, if your video has a little thing there, so I would suggest you do the same thing yourself. Buy some advertisements, buy some Google AdWords. Experiment around with that. See what you can get. Try to get your videos linked up to something else. So, but it's interesting. It seems like most of the views that YouTube videos get are generated by YouTube themselves. And one little addenda here. This is kind of like a potpourri video. It's a very disjointed video. But like one remark, I watched the Anthropology on YouTube video that you linked there. I noticed an interesting thing. Okay, every time that this professor says that somebody on YouTube became a success, okay, what was the definition of success there? Okay, the definition of success wasn't you were big on YouTube. Okay, your only success, or at least you only made it into this professor's video describing success, if you were picked up by the mainstream media, some media that was not YouTube, and were talked about there. Chris Crocker makes it on Fox News, as being held up as being a ridiculous example of something or other, right? Or they make fun of him on Fox News. That's success, right? Success is never you made it big on YouTube. That's not success. And I seriously don't think that this whole YouTube. I mean, unless YouTube starts really making a lot of money, it's pretty bad shape. This is a downer economy. Google stock is way down. According to Wikipedia, at least, Google is spending in excess of $1 million a day on bandwidth charges alone, and they're just not making any money off of this whole thing. Unless they start making some real money off of this, it's has a limited shelf life, I guess. So, at any rate, I think if you really want to make it big, if you really want to make it, I think you're going to have to try and do some other media besides YouTube. At any rate, like I said, bogus advice, worth what you paid for it. Hope you enjoyed the story. Catch you later.